Oh, Vinny, you're on mute. You're on mute. Wait, let me unmute you.
Oh, you gotta unmute me. What kind of Mickey Mouse operation we got over here? Like I can't be unmuted. You're making me feel like it's 1998 when I was dancing in the clubs. Thank you very much for having me, fine gentlemen, and hopefully I feel like Ibra right now. Like, you know, when Ibra says that he's like a father to all those kids in the Zoom. That's what I am right now. I'm an older gentleman. I'm with you young guys over here, but thank you for the invite.
Nah, Vinny, you're our Ibra because you're our star player today. That's why.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, Vinny and I are going to be best friends after this because I'm going to be complimenting him all the time. But next up, it's the villain of this podcast, the guy everyone doesn't like, back from his bunker with the weird cross behind him. What's up, Amy? Why can't I hear him? No, Amy, we can't hear you, bro.
He's an interista. Keep him muted. Who cares?
Yeah, we'll keep him muted. Amy, we can't hear you right now. You gotta check your mic. We'll go to Ricky in the meantime, but it's fine when we don't hear you. Ricky, our resident Juventino fan, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, by the way, can you look at the disappointment in Emiliano's face? Look at the disappointment in Emiliano's face. Anyway, Ricky, what's up?
Hi guys, nice to be back. I'm looking forward to the episode. So a good one.
And then Amy, try to speak now.
Maybe.
Yeah, there he is. Introduce yourself, buddy.
Yeah, glad to be back. First time I've heard the intro song, actually, because the other episodes
Really?
I wasn't here at the beginning, so let's have a good one.
All right, before we move on again, I just want to introduce to you guys Vinny from... Actually, I'll let him introduce himself. Vinny from the Milan Weekly Podcast. I think Luca's now going to post his channel stuff in the chat. But Vinny, what's up? What's the Milan Weekly Podcast? Tell us about it.
Milan Weekly Podcast, guys. It's actually been an affair since probably 2011. Stevie and I, with a couple of friends, and morphed into Milan Weekly Podcast several years ago. I think we're hitting close to 200 episodes. Being broadcast to Radio Rossonera on YouTube, on the Twitter machine, on the the stream machine like this one here. Just two guys, really. We say we're not professionals, nor do we pretend to be. We always found it as just two guys, two mates at the bar talking calcio, talking our beloved Milan, and we don't try to dissect it like journalists or anything. Just two regular guys talking about soccer and the positives and the negatives.
So, first of all, you already misstepped by calling it soccer here, but it's fine. We'll let you off for it. Scusate. But the best thing is that we'd like to emulate and be like the guys of a bar, but I think where you are from, we can't even get into a bar because we're not 21.
Yeah, no, I'm not legal age.
Here in Quebec, the age is 18, but it's just a suggestion. It's if you're 16, 17, okay, come on in, no problem. But no, we're not the United States here. It's 18 years old. Go right ahead and drink your sorrows away, especially as a Milanista.
Especially as a Milanista. Long live Canada. All right, we'll get right into the episode. We've been talking a bit. So Catenaccio Podcast, as always, we got to thank the guys from Radio Rossonera for allowing us to use their platform and whatnot. But let's get right into it, guys. So Jonathan, our resident Laziale, is not here, but we'll look at the results. And the first one is Lazio against Crotone. I was hoping for a Crotone win with Serse Cosmi, who was banned for this game. By the way, for a bestemmia. Vinny, do you know what a bestemmia is?
Una bestemmia, che tu parlo italiano. I don't think you parle le français aussi. So yes, una bestemmia. So he got knocked out for saying something bad. This is the kind of culture we have nowadays. Any bad words. And guys, remember, if there was fans around, nobody would hear anything, right? Because of the microphones. But
that is very true.
Yeah. No, I know what a bestemmia is.
You got banned for that, which is I believe it's. I think if you ban him, half of the Serie A wouldn't be playing the next game.
I know it's cliche, but Buffon wouldn't have 400 games under his belt.
He'd have about 200.
It's the most common thing said, and I know Ricky Juventino, he could probably agree as well. It's one of the
but I think there's a famous one this year against Parma. I think he got a suspension for that, and I remember also this year Cristante got suspended one game. As Vinny said, this year with no public, you can hear everything, and so you have to pay particular attention to this aspect.
Well, I hear it all the time, honestly. But anyway, we'll be talking about Lazio Crotone in a minute. We'll be talking about Lazio especially. It's a shame Jonathan is not here. But then Atalanta Spezia, 3-1 to Atalanta. It's quite predictable. Atalanta is an absolute steamroller of a game of a team. And then Sassuolo Verona, 3-2. Sassuolo just winning over Verona. I think this was probably one of the most exciting games of the weekend because of the two coaches. And we'll talk about those two coaches in a minute as well with our slides. Juric and De Zerbi. Fiorentina smashing Benevento, which changes everything in the relegation race.
With Vlahovic hat-trick, huh?
Vlahovic hat-trick, and we'll be talking about Vlahovic.
I have to say he made me shut up after a lot of criticism on my part. Can't say anything this week about Vlahovic.
I had him in my fancy football, so I can't say anything bad towards him. Then Genoa Udinese, a 1-1 draw, easy peasy lemon squeezy. But then Torino Inter, I think a crucial game for Inter, who they were tying it until what was it, like 84th minute, and then a good goal by Lautaro Martinez. I think Torino really shot themselves in the foot there. I was about to create a new saying, guys, as I always do, but they're about to shoot themselves in the foot there, and they eventually did it. Bologna Sampdoria, 3-1, good win for Bologna. Parma with an absolute upset, and we'll be talking about that. 2-0, and then Cagliari Juventus 1-3, and then there was no other games. We can finish the episode here, and that's it. I think there was no other games. Milan didn't play. We have to talk about it. Milan got beat 1-0 by Napoli, but we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about injuries. I know Emiliano doesn't like talking about injuries because he thinks it's excuses. But let's get to our first slide. I just spoke about the Devil. Let's talk about the Devil. Inter Milan winning 2-1 against Torino. Amy, do you want to give us a bit of an overview about the game and what happened? And then tell us about the slide.
Yeah, first of all, I want to talk quickly about the game. I think it was a very, very tough game. It's one of those games we would have lost maybe last year, maybe 2 years ago, especially, where you go 1-0 up and then very weird goal conceded on a corner and pushes, people falling, injuries, everything, and random goal. And then in the past few years, we wouldn't have scored. We would have just kept the result, kept the ball behind the back, and done nothing. But then the two players I put here, Eriksen and Sanchez, who just when they came in, they completely changed the team. You could see Eriksen how the ball was flowing. He actually did the pass to Lautaro for the penalty, I think, where there was a bit of a scrap there. But yeah, just completely changed the game, and then that beautiful assist, beautiful goal from Lautaro just to close off the game.
Lautaro is, I think, is one of those players that is just. I don't know. I don't think people talk about him enough. Would you guys say, quick fire question as always, top 5 strikers? Well, he's not really a striker, but let's say forwards in Italy, and then we can specify what we don't think. Top 5 in Italy. Luca?
Well, I'd have to take a moment to consider who those 5 are, but I think I'd say no. No. Just off the top of my head.
So do you think like Inter could do without Lautaro?
Yeah, I think they could, especially with the amount of money that's been offered for him or what they've been talking about. I think if you can get like more than 60, 70 million for him, I think he's replaceable, and we can see that when Sanchez plays.
Vinny, what do you think? Is he replaceable, or is he one of the reasons why we're up there?
No, definitely for me, and one of the reasons they're up there is like I hate singing praises for these colors. Ugh, just give me anyways. But Lautaro for me, it's a game changer. You could put him on, and what is typically Inter? What, you're gonna sell him for 60, 70 million, and then go get who? Nobody to replace him, and then you're back to square one, right? So no, I would probably definitely put him in the top 5 in Serie A as we speak.
Yeah. I really like as well. Sorry, Ricky. I'll just butt in for this. I really like. You know what it is about Lautaro? I think it's the attitude, because he's not one who likes the newspapers talking about him like some other Argentinian striker that used to play for Inter, and he just gets the job done, and he's got that attitude of a real fighter. Ricky, do you think he's replaceable or he's crucial?
I think top 5. I should think. I need to think about it, but definitely his main strength is that he's perfect to play with Lukaku. They both have 14 goals this season, and I think that it would be difficult to find someone that can be up there with Lukaku and play well, because they're a deadly duo. We said this many times, and that's why I think that his main strength is that he's perfect for Lukaku.
And then last but not least, Amy, do you think, as obviously the Inter fan, do you think that he is replaceable or not?
I feel like there's no players like him around. He's very unique as a player, and he perfectly fits Lukaku. So I wouldn't say he's replaceable. We're looking at a player who plays exactly like him.
Yeah.
But if you were to bring someone else in that could do a similar job, or maybe like have different qualities, I think you could. But not with his age, his talent, he's a complete package as a young player, in my opinion.
So he's really one of a kind right now on the market.
Quickly, the one thing my biggest problem with him is consistency, because you can go from scoring 3 to then not scoring for 2-3 games in a row, missing very easy tap-ins, very easy goals. So consistency needs to be worked on.
Well, yeah, I think the thing about Inter Milan right now as well, guys, and then this is another question. I'll ask especially for Vinny, especially when we'll talk about Milan. But so Serie A is the only competition we're in now, so they can go 100% in it, and they can really go for it this time. And look at the difference in points in comparison to the other teams. You see it there in the slide. But just a question very quickly, guys. Do you think the fact that they only play Serie A is an advantage, or do you think it doesn't change anything? Luca?
Yes, I think it's definitely an advantage now that, of course, the weeks that there's also Serie A on Wednesday, it doesn't make a difference, right? But these weeks where they have a whole week to prepare for a team like Torino, I just don't imagine a way that they can screw that up, right? You have the whole week to prepare for it. You have the whole week to rest for it. And then when you get there, eventually the quality of the team is going to show. There's no fatigue. There's very little injuries because you're only playing one competition. And I think it does make the difference. Now I'm interested to see actually how Juve's form will change now that they're out of European competitions. And they only have one game left. Oh, yeah, you didn't know?
Oh, no.
Yeah, unfortunately.
They karate kicked their way out of the Champions League.
Yeah, well, Vinny, go on. Do you think not being in the Champions League is an advantage?
You can look at it as an advantage, but let's put it this way from these two stills, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're playing in 2 competitions or 3, when you're bringing out guys like Alexis Sanchez and this guy here, maybe Emiliano could tell me, this guy, Eriksen, maybe you guys didn't want him nowhere a couple of months. He comes on against Milan, all of a sudden, a gift from God. But guys, in reality, when you bring in quality players like this from your bench, it all depends on your rotation. When we have Castillejo coming off the bench, right? I think it really depends of, yes, it makes a big difference, but it's your quality of your bench players that could permit you to go far, and that's what makes these great teams great, right? Yes. But a positive for Inter, but I don't think it's only this reason that they're on top of the Serie A right now.
Yeah. I completely agree with you, Vinny. Ricky, what's up? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it has a major impact on the mental side, being able to focus mentally only on one competition, on Serie A, it's an advantage. Then we can argue also about the form of players, but as Vinny said, if you have quality players on the bench, you should be able to handle that. So I think it's more, it's an advantage, especially from the mental point of view.
And then last but not least, Amy, quickly, what's up?
I feel like it's an advantage, but it's getting very, very overblown, in my opinion. Especially as you look, the total games played this year, so basically from January 2021 till, what is it today? Monday, 15th of March. You guys have played one more game than us in total. So I don't think that one game extra makes all the difference in 9 points. Like, I don't think that's the gap between our teams. That's why I agree with Vinny, because he said when you get off the bench, Sanchez and Eriksen or Young, he's not great, but he's still decent. Just another thing. That's why I think Juve especially is still a very, very big contender for the title, because you have Kulusevski coming off the bench, Dybala, now he's injured, but of course coming off the bench. You have so many players you can bring on, switch the team around. They have such a big advantage.
Yeah. 100%.
Amy, if I can comment on one thing about Inter's bench, I think now it's the 5th time that I've made money betting on Inter winning when the game was tied or they were losing. And I think I've said this a couple of times to you specifically, that when Inter puts on Sanchez, Lautaro, and Lukaku together, and also Eriksen, say, and they have Hakimi on the right, they're essentially playing with 5-6 forwards. Barella gets into the box. And honestly, I just don't see a way that they're not going to score, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you could say, they're taking a bigger risk. Yeah, well, I guess that's a bit different, but of course you could say that then there's the risk that they get counterattacked and you guys concede, but that just doesn't happen. Instead, every time you put on those 4 or 5 players, always a goal's always coming.
Anyway, we'll move on then to the next slide. But yeah, that was a very interesting combo on Inter, guys. Thank you very much. And then this one we'll talk about very quickly. For anyone who is now sending cops over and doxing us over this picture, this is the idea of Luca Hoffmeister.
This is my work. This is my work. After my picture last week of Krunic as Ricardo Kaká, I've decided to up the blasphemy level. And well, no, actually, maybe I've downgraded it a bit.
Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Krunic and Kaká is a bit more of a stretch than.
He's a body guy. Looks like he's a body guy. Goes to the gym, does all the body from over there. Head's a bit disproportioned, but it's okay.
Yeah, the editing skills aren't the best.
Yo, stick to studying.
It's not a masterpiece. It's not a work of art. But no, I wanted to make this just to point out. Well, of course, how incredible Muriel has been this year.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say, this is obviously exaggerated. I wouldn't say that he's the one carrying Atalanta to those high positions, because if he's not scoring, Duvan would be scoring. And I don't think he's really carrying the team. As we know, Gasperini has a very rigid system that always seems to work no matter what. But I wanted to praise him because he has 16 goals in 25 appearances, only 1 penalty, 60 minutes per goal, which is insane, and also has 6 assists. So while we've also been talking about Atalanta Scudetto, I think first of all you need to look at UCL. They're 2 points ahead of Napoli and Roma, and Lazio's a bit further back. But yeah, I think this was just to get a little bit of a discussion going about Atalanta. Also, they have Real Madrid coming up this week, so we'll see maybe if they prioritize Champions League, maybe suffer next week against Hellas Verona, and it's going to be interesting to see how the season develops for them.
We'll talk more about the actual UCL spots. It's our last slide. But just a quick fire question I have is Real Madrid is I don't know. I didn't really like them in the first leg of the UCL against Atalanta, and then they got a red card and it just didn't go their way. But do you reckon Atalanta could upset it and win on? Is it tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow, isn't it? Luca, do you think yes or no? Just a yes or no.
Yeah, I think they have a chance.
Vinny?
Hell no.
I love how direct Vinny is. I absolutely love it.
Hell no chance.
No chance. Ricky?
I just want to say that this weekend Real Madrid was losing against Elche, and then they managed to win 2-1 with Benzema scoring at the 91st. Then obviously they are Real Madrid. The name says it all. Champions League is different. They're going to approach the game in a different way probably. But still, this year Real Madrid is being ups and downs, and Atalanta is a team that you can expect everything from them. I think that the first match with Freuler being sent off. If that didn't happen, could have gone totally another way. I actually think Atalanta could have actually won the match. We'll see. I'm quite, I think Atalanta can do something interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Amy, we'll just get you. What's up?
Yeah, I feel like it's still Real Madrid in Champions League. So you saw it even in the first half of the season against us, where they were doing really poorly in La Liga, but they came to San Siro, they beat us. Of course, we were in 10, but I think they still had won. They beat us in Madrid. I think Atalanta isn't getting through.
They aren't getting through. And then they have Verona as well, who we were talking about before, as a bit of a revelation of the Serie A, because they sold half of their team last year, and they're still doing really well. We thrashed them, as Vinny and Luca will know. We absolutely thrashed them. By the way, we have some, sorry guys, I'm just going to read out some messages. We have greetings from London. We got Porridge, who's a good friend of ours, and he says Forza Hellas. So hello to everyone. 17 transfers in 2 years. Yeah, that is quite incredible. And to still be up there in the table, we'll look at them in a minute. But yeah, Hellas, I think it's going to be a really good game this weekend. I think it's going to be a really good game, and we'll look at our predictions later on in the show. Now, this is my slide because I love talking about this kind of football, the dirty stuff. So, relegation battle, it is on. We had an incredible upset this weekend with Parma thrashing Roma 2-0. I say thrashing because they also played better. They just didn't win 2-0. And yes, as you can see here, the table at the bottom has just changed completely. Fiorentina is now, higher up there, and Benevento's now down below. I remember when we used to talk about Benevento being 10th, and we're like, oh, Benevento this year are saving themselves easy, but they're evidently not. I hope you guys enjoy my editing skills as well. They're not as good as Luca's, but they really mean a lot to me. Anyway, the upcoming relegation games are really important. Spezia, Cagliari, we got Benevento, Parma, Spezia, Crotone, Cagliari, Parma, Parma, Crotone, and then Torino against Parma. And we know that the last few days of a Serie A, when they really get into those head-to-heads, they could be crucial. They could be absolutely crucial. It is, Vinny, by the way, as obviously you're a bit older than us, and I didn't want to say it, but I had to. Isn't it shocking for you to see teams like Torino, teams like Cagliari, teams like Fiorentina down there fighting for relegation spots? Or to you, it's just like nearly a good thing because it shows how football is always more unpredictable. It's always getting better.
It's it's surprising when you see these kind of teams at the bottom, but then you take a look at, if you look at the past, right now I'm looking at Torino, and unfortunately in the last maybe 5 to 6 years, gentlemen, maybe Torino needs this. Maybe Torino needs to go back to Serie B and, refocus, regroup, and go like, we cannot keep on playing, this kind of football and between 10th and 15th place. But in the end, people keep on talking about, let's put 18 teams instead of 20 in Serie A. What I like to see, we talk about the top four, but let's look at these bottom four. You have from 22 points to, Crotone is going down. I don't even think it's a discussion right now, but anything could happen, from Parma, Torino, Cagliari, Benevento. Looking at Fiorentina, when was the last time we saw Fiorentina down there? Do I think Fiorentina is? No, I don't think Fiorentina is going to be in those bottom three. But maybe I'm afraid, and I'm sorry to say this. I think Torino, unfortunately, I think at this point right now in their history and the way they've been performing, it's time to let Belotti go. It's time to regroup, go in Serie B, get back on track, and come back to Serie A with tutta forza. That's my personal opinion.
So and hopefully Belotti comes to us.
We'll take him.
I was just about to go to that, but before that, sorry, Vinny, I just wanted to ask you because I know kind of, but I'll ask for boys as well. So who are you predicting? Like you say, okay, if I had to put my money on it, these guys are going down. So you said Crotone, you said Torino. Like if you had to put your money on it, would you say Crotone?
I would say Crotone, Torino, and Cagliari. Parma's going to pull it out. I don't know why, but Parma's going to pull it out.
But I think it's
Gervinho. It's that hair, guys. It's that hair. He's gonna come up with some sort of crazy goals, but Crotone for sure. Torino, I think, is more wishful thinking, but I don't see Cagliari doing it.
I think it's shocking that Cagliari is there. Their team on paper is incredible. I think you got the Nainggolan's, you got João Pedro. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. He is the highest scoring Brazilian in all top 5 leagues, right?
Yeah, one of your favorite stats.
That isn't that like an incredible stat? So you got João Pedro.
I mean, Cagliari's team is probably better than Hellas Verona's on paper, right?
Yeah,
definitely better
yeah. And I think it just shows how important it is for a manager because I think I hate to quote this guy, but Mourinho said it on that Netflix show. He said, "Listen, I'm not here to teach these players how to play football. I'm not going to teach Cristiano Ronaldo how to play football, but I'm here to put them in the best suited, like the best system for them to express their best football." So I think that's why it's so important. And I think I don't know. I personally, guys, who do you think is going down? Let's start from Amy because I haven't heard it from him in a while. So let's say I think you said Crotone was going down 100%. Who else is going down?
I feel like Crotone, of course, and Torino. I think they do have the team, but with the whole COVID outbreak they had to get. I said this last week as well. Getting 2 games back is so hard because their team is so short on players. Like I don't think they have a lot of rotation players, and they're just going to struggle in the end when you have to play those extra 2 games against Sassuolo and Lazio. It's just going to be so much harder for them.
Yeah.
And then the third team, maybe it's really hard to predict the third team because there's so many teams really close together.
You don't have to predict it now because we'll go on and we'll have more of a certainty. Ricky, we'll go. Yeah, what's up?
Quickly, I think it might even be one of the bottom 4 right now because you look at Parma, 19 points. They're 7 off 16th place, that's a big gap for a small team. So I think they might go.
Ricky, what about you? Quickly, who do you think is?
I'm still gonna say Crotone. Then actually, I'm gonna change my my opinion on Torino, as Amy said, with the recent problems they had with the COVID outbreak and the 2 matches they have to play again, it's not easy and it can be a key disadvantage. So probably I'm going to say Torino as the second team. And honestly, I think I will still say that the third team will be one between Spezia or Benevento. Always based on the fact that they're less experienced in Serie A.
Oh, sorry, Ricky cut out.
And obviously
we lost.
Okay. Yeah, he's kind of back. So you're saying because they're less experienced in Serie A, and
yeah, exactly. I said last week. I think the other teams can save themselves better.
All right, I've got a question for the 2 AC Milan fans. I have this picture in my mind. I dreamt about it when Ibra and Mandzukic, because they're a bit older, they're gone. I see in my mind the 2 strikers for Milan being Vlahovic and Belotti. What do you guys think?
First, we're gonna buy Mete at a discount. We're gonna offer like $3 to $5 million.
Much better than Bakayoko. Much better.
Belotti. Honestly, you look back at Cairo, and if you need to believe, offers that were made in the past, and what were the offers back then, guys? Not just for Milan, Belotti for 60, 70 million. And he said, no, I'm sorry. You're an idiot. Because nowadays it's a business, right? And if he does end up, forget Milan, guys. We'll take him because, guys, remember, Ibra, yes, we all love Ibra. Ibra is a Band-Aid solution. Don't forget that. Ibra's not going to be here for the next 5 years. If we do end up getting Belotti or any other team, they're going to get him, guys, on the dirt cheap. And that's on Torino, on nobody else's fault. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Luca, what about you? Vlahovic and Belotti for the future?
Oh, first of all, I like that you mentioned Mandzukic, even though he's done absolutely nothing for us.
I'd like to remind our viewers, Mandzukic
he's made 4 passes, Luca. 4 passes, okay? Get it right. 4. Thank you.
Well, I mean, for the investment, it wasn't too much money, so I guess we're getting 4 passes, 1 million per pass. I think hopefully towards the end of the season, he's. I'm still happy with the transfer. Considering the situation, we didn't have a lot of money to spend. I'm fine with Mandzukic coming on. But Belotti, I'd love to have him, and I fully agree with Vinny. 60 million for Belotti. I don't think he was ever a 60 million player. Definitely 40 million in the current market, well, pre-COVID market. But yeah, if we can take him, I'd love that. Vlahovic, I don't know. I think it's a bit of a stretch to just say now. I think Belotti has some sort of link to Milan, a bit of possibility. Vlahovic, I don't know. I don't know of any actual possibility.
For sure, I don't want to see Leao. Honestly, I want to see him on loan as soon as possible. I don't want him.
You need to stop with this loan thing, bro. Yeah. Like we paid 25 million for him. You said Sousa last time. Sousa, we paid 500,000 for him. You can send him out. You can't send out someone who we paid 25 million for.
Wait. Someone here is saying Vlahovic is Catenaccio 2.0.
Nah, he's Catenaccio.
I mean, let's hear from Vlahovic. What do you think?
Yeah, Vinny, what do you think about Leao? I'm really curious.
About Leao.
We have very
Adla says that
do we really need to get into this?
Okay. We have to. We have to. I'm sorry.
All right.
You just ruined this.
Look, guys. We can be on the side that I was actually going to call the podcast tonight a little less Leao, a little more Rebic, please, for mentality wise, like the reactions. Now, people want to complain about Leao. I think the complaining has to be from what I'm pissed off about is I don't see that drive in that kid, right? I don't see la voglia. I don't see, and then people saying, oh, but he sucks as a center forward. Okay, who else are you going to put as a center forward? We have nobody. Literally. So it's like, oh, but he plays a lot more better on the wing. Okay, who the hell are you going to put as a striker? So I'm not defending him for this, but I think that the mistake Milan has made in the past is giving up way too soon. In a season that we've had so far, right? You could talk about his non, his body language. He did score a couple of goals when Ibra was out, but guys, again, we've overachieved this season. And for sure. No matter.
Vinny, it's not over. Vinny, don't jinx it.
No, but I'm just saying is that everybody wants to shit on Milan. Oh, you're good. Hey, who told you we're going to be second place when there was 11 games left, right? Yeah. So you can shit on Leao all you want. For me, tell me who else you were going to put over there, and we'll discuss. Who were you going to put over there instead? Hulk Hogan? That's what we call him?
the boss's son, Maldini Jr.
Oh yeah, Maldini Jr.
By the way, sorry, Amy, before you go on, someone says here in the chat, Vinny, ask him what Steve thinks of Leao.
Oh Jesus, no, that's gonna be for tonight. Steve is ready. Steve does not like Leao, but not that he doesn't like the person Leao. He just finds again with the whole body. I'm always trying to put two sides to the coin, right?
Yeah.
He didn't perform well. We wanted to see a reaction from him a bit better, and then we get performances like this. But I like to see on the other side. Okay, so what else are we gonna do? You're gonna put him on the wing. Who are we gonna put up front? That's the way I look at it. So that's where the discussion comes in very well. Is to look at it both sides of the street and have a intelligent conversation and a debate, right? Not you're wrong, I'm right. Here's the way I'm thinking. Here's my rebuttal, and go from there.
We really needed an adult in here. Sorry, Amy, for the last time I'm going to interrupt you, but it's just I need to do some housekeeping. Someone messaged me about this. By the way, guys, I put in the link in the chat that you can subscribe with Prime. It's totally free if you have a Prime account, and you'll be helping out radio a lot, or you can donate. Both the links are in the chat, and there's also the link to go to Vinny's channel, the Milan Weekly Podcast, and all their platforms. Sorry, Amy, go on. What were you about to say, Leao?
I want to say, Leao, I think is a very similar scenario with other players at Milan. I think Vinny said.
All right, let me go to the Milan slide anyway. We're already here.
We're already here, yeah.
Milan gives up way too quickly on players. You look, Casillas' first year, he was playing out of position and was terrible, to be honest. He got similar criticized to what Leao is getting now. Same with Çalhanoğlu. He was playing as a left winger, I believe, and he was terrible. Everyone hated him. Everyone wanted Çalhanoğlu on the bench, Çalhanoğlu out. Now he's one of the integral parts of your team. Of course, he had COVID. He's recovering, but he could be back. I think you just need to give him a chance. You see these spurts of really, really good performances. I think against us last year, he was really good.
This year, first derby.
You're talking about giving him a chance. It's not giving him a chance right now. I think right now as we speak, Leao is your perfect substitution. And in the last 4 to 5 months, he has not been able to take that responsibility as being a super sub or playing off the wing. We did see him have good performances when he played on the wing, but you can see the frustration in his face, giving up on certain talent. Like, to loan him out, what are we going to loan him out for? If somebody comes ringing at that kind of money, look at all the other ones that, you spoke about Kessie, you spoke about Çalhanoğlu. Çalhanoğlu, we still don't like him very, very much, but that's besides the point. It's just that somehow off the wing, that's his preferred position, right? He's not Fabio Borini, the jack of all trades. Borini, we're gonna throw him anywhere. He would have been able to play any position. But I think the most frustrating part about Leao, guys, it's not like people talking about he's like a Niang 2.0. I think the frustration with Leao is that, God damn it, we've seen you do better than this. Can you give us a bit more? And we want him to perform.
Because we know he can do so much better. Like, we know it.
And that it's the exact same thing as Balotelli, right? Even though, like, Balotelli on paper a lot more talent than Leao, you see the potential in a Leao. Like, I called Niang 2.0. It's not really Niang 2.0. It's because you can see the raw talent that he has. And God, just give us something. Just give us... an example like Rebic, we didn't like what happened. Don't get me wrong. But can you show me a bit of emotion on Rebic? Right? You saw that he was pissed off, right? When was the last time we saw a reaction like this from a player? That time Castillejo took a red card last year because he was so pissed off in the 93rd minute. Give me a bit of passion. Give me a bit, So
I don't think I remember a Leao foul. When someone goes on a counterattack and the attacker stops him. I don't think I remember Leao ever doing that.
No, he doesn't track back.
Yeah, he doesn't track back.
He doesn't track back. Now, again, guys, who are we to say, he's lazy? And some people might call him lazy. But what if he's being told not to track back? I don't know. We're not coaches. We you know what I'm trying to say? So there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. And I'm not a lover of Leao, guys. Don't get me wrong. But before you talk, right, double check what you're talking about. Last time I checked, what are you, a coach at FIFA? You know about formations better than Padre Pioli. Like, if you think he's a shitty striker, okay, give me your alternative, and then we'll talk. What are we gonna do?
He's a victim of circumstance.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was before this. I was on that. I'm a very emotional football fan, and I think it's still the emotions from last night running. But I'm not gonna lie, you guys make You guys make a pretty good argument. The whole alternative thing is a convincing argument. I don't know what the other guys here think, but before let's get into the nitty and gritty. Milan, I think I made this. Yeah, I made this slide. So Milan, Scudetto UCL. I think Vinny mentioned before that we are overachieving. And we're not even meant to be where we are, but we were dreaming of that little Italian flag patch on our shirt next year. But is it too early to give out on the Scudetto dream, guys? Because the numbers speak for themselves. -9 from Inter is quite a lot. And those guys behind us are creeping behind us. I forgot to put the little asterisks behind Juve as well. If Juve win against Napoli in that match, they have to get back. They will overtake us. And we got 2 very big matches coming up. So I'm going to start off from that before we get onto the general discussion. So we got Man United on Thursday, which I believe, and I want to know what you guys think, is crucial, because I think if we do well against Man United, we'll do well against Fiorentina, because we'll be against United. If we do badly against United, we'll do badly against Fiorentina, and then we got 2 weeks of international break, which I think will just brew that negativity, and I think there will be going to shit. But Luca, what do you think? How crucial is Thursday for us? And then I will ask.
I think we've seen how unpredictable we can be, especially because we played incredibly against Manchester last Thursday, and I think we fully deserved the win. Didn't end up getting it, but still, I think everyone was incredibly happy within the team. And then you perform very poorly against Napoli. So I wouldn't go as far as saying that if you perform negatively against United this week, then it's going to have definite negative repercussions against Fiorentina, right? Mm-hmm. Also, United, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Cavani is back, Rashford is back.
Yeah.
Pogba might be back as well.
But for us, we have Benacer and I think Ibra will be back.
Ibra's back,
okay.
Apparently.
Well, so it's going to be a much more impressive game, I guess. Higher intensity. But then when you look at it, United is bringing back, well, you could say 3 world-class players: Rashford, Pogba, and De Gea. Maybe De Gea is not world-class anymore. But yeah, it might make the difference. If we can go through, total success, and I'd be incredibly happy. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah. What about you, Vinny? What do you think? How crucial also, because, Milan and Man United has that romantic smell to it. It's especially we were too young for 2003 Manchester, but
you were too young. I remember.
No, we were too young.
Oh,
You're
okay.
Obviously very young, Vinny. But
thank you.
First of all, what emotions does this game give to you to be back onto that stage? Maybe it's not the ultimate stage, but it's the steps to that really nice UCL stage, and to be against United. And second, how important is this game for us?
I think it's important more on the standpoint of morale, of team morale, and getting back into that, let's get a good performance out of this. I think even if we would end up losing, but we just, most of the time, Steve and I will always say, just give us a performance. Just show us that you want to win. I feel that Milan, in this recent rut that we've been in, when we're playing under pressure, where we're definitely the underdog, somehow we managed to come up with some sort of performance and win. It's not the same feeling, obviously, as looking at Man U, Milan right now as of 15, 20 years ago. But it's kind of nice to see, when was the last time that, we saw a team, our beloved Milan, play one of the top, 20, 25 teams in football history. It's a great, even though there's no fans, but it's just great to see playing a team of this caliber. And people saying, oh, but the Europa League, we shouldn't be concentrated. No, let's go and see what we're capable of doing. Because I believe if you go through the motions, unlike, I believe Juventus, Inter, then I don't have these motions of playing 2 competitions. But anyways, if you look at the playing these 2 competitions this way here, right? Now, at the end of the season, okay, here's what we're lacking. We don't have the depth. In this situation, let's improve. If you just play that one Serie A game every single week, how are you going to identify where your problems are? I'm not saying Juventus or Inter have problems, but we definitely have the problems, and we'll be able really to nitpick them going with these games. But honestly, guys, my prediction, I stopped betting a very long time ago, because betting in me, it wasn't for me. And you guys, make sure you always keep it for fun, because winning money, there's no such thing 100%. As right. Just keep it for fun. But I have a feeling that we're going to surprise Manchester United, and we're going to destroy Fiorentina. That's every time I've bet, that's where I would lose. Whenever I don't bet, things come true. So guys, don't bet with my things, guys, because if you bet with my recommendations, we're gonna lose. So
obviously, we obviously, as always, say bet responsibly. It's
always.
Yeah. All right, and then the thing I wanted to mention as well. So I'll ask you guys as well, but I'll add this question so we'll get into a real conversation. So we still have to play Juve, Sassuolo, Lazio, and Atalanta. You know what the worst thing is for me? I've checked the fixtures as well. We still have to play most of our relegation candidates as well. So we still got Benevento, we still got Parma, we still got Genoa. We got all that lot still to play. And I'm more scared of those guys because the last games, that's when they really show their balls. The balls come out to play. Sorry, look, I'll go first to Ricky and Amy because I haven't heard from them in a while. So Ricky first. How important is this game for us on Thursday in all its importance that it could give to us? And what do you think about the thing I just said about the games that are coming up, and especially for the UCL race, because you see there to the right how distant the other teams are.
Yeah, we said it last episode that the two matches, the one against United and then against Napoli, it would have been worse to lose against Napoli. But I think that for the next week, this loss against Napoli obviously is not good for you, for the morale, but it kind of makes you understand that maybe it's more the objectives is more the UCL than the Scudetto. So
it keeps us humble. You mean?
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I strongly believe that you should. Obviously, I'm not saying just forget about Serie A, but like in the Europa League, the next match against United, I really hope I would like to see you guys go for it, because the Europa League, it's an important competition. I mean, you're playing at the European level. People all over. I mean, people watch you. You have a different audience. So I would really like to see Milan go on, and obviously keep an eye on the Serie A, but. Understanding that your objectives is top 4 and you are currently second. So, and in relation to the relegation teams you will be playing against, it's going to be tough. As you said, in the last part of the season, it's when they start really, being a pain in the ass, and against big teams, they can do, like we've seen Parma the past week. So that's also something harder that adds to the whole situation. But you just have to. And I'm gonna say it. Europa League. I think you really should focus on it.
The connection went right where he was giving the prediction. Wait, Ricky, you back? Say it again.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly. Go for it.
Okay, no, I was just saying that, my whole argument is that you should really focus on the Europa League, because the objective for you is is top 4. You're currently second, so you're in a kind of good position, okay? Europa League, I think against Man United, you played very well at Old Trafford. You're on a 1-1, and so, I mean, go for it. And then Fiorentina, obviously away, it's not an easy match, but, now the main focus should be on the Europa League, in my opinion.
Amy, quickly, do you want to say something as well? I know you love
Milan. I feel like Thursday's game is really important, not only because of your season, but because of you would be eliminating, in my opinion, the biggest threat to you guys in the Europa League. I think if you get United out, I don't see a better team than United. I think there's Tottenham still in there.
Arsenal.
I don't think it's
Arsenal is playing well.
It's
maybe Granada.
It's not the same thing, let's say. So I think getting United out would be really, really big for your chances to actually getting and winning the trophy.
Vinny, I have a question for you. Yeah. Would you rather get top 4 easy peasy, but get out in the comfortably top 4, but get out of the Europa League, or would you rather come 5th and win the Europa League, go to UCL, and you're basically snatching that UCL spot off the 4th one?
Well, if you're asking me if I had the choice, obviously I would take the Europa League.
It's a risk. It's a risk.
Okay, now there's a risk involved. No. Well, your question was, what would
the
you
guarantee?
Take?
Exactly.
I'll take the guarantee.
I won't give you the guarantee, but let's say you're 5th and you get the chance to be in the final, though.
The way this team has been playing and seeing the the status of our bench, I would not take that chance that we will make to win a Europa League finals. I do not want to take this tournament lightly. And for me, it's just a way for us to make it back onto the world stage. We're talking about with our Patreon members last game, a guy like Frank Kessie. How many eyes around the world laid their eyes on Frank Kessie last time we played Manchester United? And it just showed me, like, yes, Milan, our rebranding is back there, but I do wanna make it as far as possible. But no, I would definitely not risk it because of the state of where we're at right now. I would definitely push more for top 4.
Well, we've
just quickly, the very important thing about Europa League is if you win it, you go instantly into pot 1. So you don't have to go into pot 4 and risk getting, I don't know, Bayern and PSG in your group. So it's a very, very big advantage.
And look at Atletico Madrid, gentlemen, right? People, Europa League winners. How many did they win there in the last 5 years? I believe 2-3 of them. And I think it was Vieri and Cassano that were talking maybe a few weeks ago. Steve was telling me is that they were talking about how the Europa League is kind of a tournament for the Italian teams right now, because let's be honest, we're not at the state that we were back in the 90s. This is a tournament that we can go in and play, but most of the Italian teams, it's the Europa League. We're gonna play. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
For no reason.
This doesn't make any sense. So I that's what I'm saying. I still want to perform well in the Europa League. Hey, if we make it past Manchester United, nobody would have predicted that, and especially not against Manchester United, and still keep pushing because we're still second last time I checked. And we still have 11 games to play, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'm keeping positive, guys. Keeping positive.
Yeah, about this Europa League. Actually, I totally agree with you. We Italian teams have to absolutely change the mentality. Europa League is not something that you just have to put there as a second option and just think about the league. And we've seen it also with Roma winning 3-0 against Shakhtar. That's good hope. So. That's why I really hope that you guys can have a really good match against United on Thursday.
Yeah. It's also, I think, the last thing, because we move on, because we're at 52 minutes, is also because I am sick and tired of this thing where Premier League players, clubs, and fans, they think they're the shit. But honestly, Premier League for me is not that good anymore. And seeing all those English pages on Facebook and whatnot saying, "Oh, Milan just absolutely outclassed United. Who is this Frank Kessie?" Guys, wake up. If Frank Kessie, someone said it, if Frank Kessie played for Southampton, he'd be worth 70 million and Liverpool would have snatched them up. Honestly, no doubt.
Pretty
no
much.
Doubt.
Yeah.
All right, we were talking about Italian teams and how they weren't as good as the 90s. I'm sorry, Ricky, but we have to go there. So, Juve... Wait, why isn't my slide changing? Okay. Oh, crappy. Okay. Sorry. Okay, CR7. Sorry, I pressed something wrong. CR7, the situation. CR7, obviously, against Porto, but Ricky will tell us better, was under the spotlight because of his performance. It was a bad performance. And the goal, the free kick, he jumped and turned something. And that's one of the reasons why Porto scored off a free kick. And everyone's like, I personally, at a certain point, we're saying that I think Cristiano Ronaldo is washing up, and I think he's a bit washed up now. And I think he's not finding himself well in Juve. But he responds to everyone with a free goals, a hat-trick, the perfect hat-trick against Cagliari. A bit of a exaggerated celebration. He scored a hat-trick against Cagliari, and he's giving us the good old, I can't hear you, but... The numbers speak a bit for themselves, these are the stats that Ricky got for us in 1920 in comparison to 2021, the seasons, and they're pretty good. You wouldn't say he's washed up from the numbers, but Ricky, tell us a bit more about that, and then we'll hear about the other guys and what they think about Juve and whether now that they're out of the Champions League, they're a real threat for the Serie A.
Yeah. Tough week. I don't want to talk a lot about the Champions League match. I think it has been discussed enough. I've had the opportunity to think about it. Also, in general, in fact, the title is CR7, The Situation. In these days, I thought, and my point is that the people... I just can't stand people saying that Ronaldo is not good or not worth it just because we went out against Porto and he didn't play well against Porto. The stats there say like most goals and assists in the Champions League. You can't talk about Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ricky, okay, let's talk about this though. The amount of money they spent on Cristiano Ronaldo 3 years ago, the objective was, we'll spend this money, and in the next 3 years, we got to win the Champions League. You spend that money, and the 3 years after, you went out against Ajax, who wasn't one of, they got to the semi-final, incredible, but Juve on paper is much better.
Yeah.
Porto, I'd say Lyon, because it was
it
was a weird year because of the whole COVID thing. But then Porto, at the end of the day, the guy's not there because he's volunteering for a charity. He's getting paid lots of money. And the fact is, I think the payment of the money to him detracts from them investing in other people. Look at the midfield, how it's been, it's made of free transfers and stuff. But what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not justifying Ronaldo's transfer and the way we played in Champions League in the past 3 years. That's definitely a failure. I'm not even gonna talk about it because it's obvious. We bought him to try and finally win the Champions League, or at least arrive until the end, and it just didn't work, and it went worse than it could expect, because going out, as you said, with Ajax, Lyon, and Porto is just not acceptable. My point here is that you cannot just say or assume that it's Ronaldo's fault.
Oh yeah.
From my point of view, what I've noticed is that since his arrival, it's true that it has been a very big investment, and that probably, as you said, it took away money from other areas or other investments in different players. But my impression is that from the moment he arrived, the whole Juventus environment, the players, and especially the fans, not me, but the average fan was like, okay, we have Ronaldo, we're automatically going to win the Champions League. He's going to do everything. And that kind of worked in the first season with the Atletico Madrid, when he turned it back on himself with the hat-trick back in Turin. And that was already like him demonstrating his value. Then against Ajax, we went out. But my point here is that it looks like the team, when he arrived, stopped working. Ronaldo is up here, and the team remained at the same level. It didn't, improved in quality. Yeah. And my point is, before you,
that is, I think Vinny and Luca will agree with me. That is what Ibra did, though. Ibra here, in comparison to the team. But the team went up. You can't see my hand. But the team went up with him. They're not at the same level, obviously, with a Juve team.
If Ronaldo, guys, obviously, if Ronaldo had I'm going to put not the blame on Ronaldo, not the blame on me. I'm going to put the blame on Agnelli and friends. If you're going to spend that money to bring in this Ronaldo, right? If Ronaldo really had a problem with the rest of let's bring in guys like Rabiot. Yeah, we're going to win Champions League with Rabiot. If you had a problem with the players that you're playing with, Mr. CR7 would have enough pull to go up to management, get me these players now, and not get a coach that has never coached a single freaking game in his life. And you're expecting to what? Win Champions League with Andrea Pirlo, zero coaching experience. Come on, guys. Come on. And then what happened this weekend? For what? Because he's Cristiano Ronaldo and you're Juventus? I'm not a guy that has conspiracy theories. I don't believe in that kind of shit, guys. I'm sorry, but how do you call that? How do you not even call that a foul? How do you let this guy, and oh my God, che reazione against Cagliari? Go throw yourself somewhere on the side. You're showing your ear like this. Please go hide, because if you would have scored 3 goals against an Inter, then you could have said whatever you wanted, right? Yeah. You scored 3 goals against Cagliari and you're acting like I'm not the problem over here. Hey, go sit down, please, and relax. That's my personal opinion about the guy. And honestly, guys, I believe he's the best player in the world over Lionel Messi. Really? I'm saying that, yeah, I believe that because he's a complete player, right? Yeah. But in the end, if you think you could do it all by yourself, year 1, you saw you couldn't do it. Year 2, you saw you couldn't do it. Why are you still putting your ego that you think you could do this all by yourself? Bring in the players that you need. Go see the management. They'll spend the money. They have fiat money. They'll bring you the players, right? Not with these nobody players, right? And having Bonucci in your defensive line there. That anyways, and getting Andrea Pirlo as a coach. Did you really think you were going to win the Champions League and Serie A and all these with? Come on, guys. Come on. I'm sorry. There.
I definitely see your point there, Vinny. In fact, I wanted to expand it. You basically anticipated me. I was going to say that before coming to Juve, he reached 8 semifinals, won 5 Champions League. But when he played with Real Madrid, do you guys remember the other players? He played with Kroos, Modric. He had Marcelo. Now he's playing with Alexandro. And Benzema up front. So basically, Vini, you got there the point. It's just that Juve didn't bring in the high top quality players that need to be at the level of Ronaldo. Then obviously the one against the match against Cagliari, maybe it was exaggerated, but I don't think that our, let's say, past adventures, failures in Champions League is all because of Cristiano Ronaldo. It's because the players that were already at Juve didn't improve and get up to that top level, or because also the management didn't bring in players of that level. It's all in that. It's a whole team issue. It's not a Ronaldo issue, obviously. No. And the people that think it's a Ronaldo issue just don't follow football or started following football yesterday. I'm sorry.
I feel like even the players who were, because even if you take off Ronaldo, let's say remove Ronaldo from Juve, you get Porto starting 11 and Juve starting 11. Who should win? Like the third goal by Juve was such a middle finger to all the fans, because you were there for an hour straight and couldn't do anything. Then Porto scores, and 2 minutes later you score a goal. Like, you could have done that 10 minutes earlier and the game would have been over. But you had to wait. I don't think it's even lack of players, because Rabiot would start at Porto, Ramsey would start at Porto, Bentancur would. Take any player from Juve and they would straight up slot into Porto starting 11. So I don't know if it even is a player issue.
And they were in 10. I just remember Porto were in 10.
Yeah, also, but here, Amy, you're creating a new argument, which is all about the mentality that Italian teams have in Italy versus in Europe. And it's a whole different. Obviously, Juve has a better team than Ajax, Lyon, and Porto. Obviously, that's not even to consider. Yeah. But here, there's a whole gigantic issue on the mentality. I've heard talking about in the past weeks, and it's a problem about Italian football that has to change, and hopefully it will change in the future. But
we have a comment here saying that there's also no continuity in attack, because all his partners have changed. Higuain, Mandzukic, Dybala, Chiesa, Morata, Ken, Kulusevski. So he says that could be also, Kevin here says that it could also be Kevin, who has a fantastic name, Kevin for 2069, but he says that there's no continuity in the partners in attack.
I think what Ricky was saying before is, sorry, I'll just end it off here. I just want to say this. When Ricky said that Juventus
left.
Yeah, I'll be real quick. When Ricky said that Juventus's players haven't stepped up to that next level, the one that comes into my mind right away is Dybala. Dybala 3 years ago was on that, on that edge to become a totally world-class player. I've always loved the guy. I think he's an incredible player.
You think he was considered as good as we consider Haaland now? I think, yeah.
That
in the world level,
Haaland was Dybala was already a bit more proven than Haaland. Haaland is absolutely incredible, but Haaland's only been around for a year and a half. Dybala at that point was around for 4 years, 5 years maybe already, with those 2 years of Palermo or whatever.
When they knocked out Barca, that whole tie, he was
exactly. So I think that Ronaldo comes along, you have Ronaldo's partner already in mind, right? It's going to be Dybala and Ronaldo. And since then, Dybala just hasn't stepped up. Then whether Agnelli and the rest of the management should have stepped in and, made a big purchase. And I think they were going to with Suarez. I would have liked to see Juve with Suarez. I got to be honest. And of course, there were other issues that didn't permit it. But yeah, I definitely agree with what Ricky's saying in general.
Yeah, can I just say the last thing, then we'll move on. The stats, in fact, there of Ronaldo in Serie A say that he has been there, he has performed. So, I mean, it's the problem of maybe the squad in general, and the mentality that Italian football has. It has to change. I'll just say one last thing. I believe that currently, but also in the past years, if we played against teams like Manchester City, Bayern Munich, we would lose, but being dominated, because we're still not at that level. But that's an issue that is more related with the mentality and with the style of football that we have to change. Then obviously we have the match against Barcelona in the group stages. That was a different situation. But against those top teams like City and company, I think we're still a step behind.
And blame the rest of Serie A. The Inters, the Milan, the Napolis, the Romas, that within those 9 years that you won a Scudetto, we didn't make you realize that your team wasn't good enough, because nobody stepped up to the plate, right? So that's why your 9 Scudettos in a row, to me, they don't mean anything, because if the rest, look at the way you performed, right? So if everybody in Serie A would have given you a bit of competition, not that you won the Scudetto by December, right? So at least you wouldn't have this, oh, well, look how good I am. And then you show up in Europe and you can't do shit, right? So that's the blame too on the rest of Serie A.
Yeah, also. But I think here...
I remember Inter and Milan had shocking teams. Did you guys see the screenshots of the formations of the derbies from a couple of years ago?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
But
you
still,
may have Ronaldo,
I agree
Jonathan.
I agree that we had over the past 9 years no competition, but I want also to say that we started from zero. Like in 2010 or 2011, Inter and Milan had by far better teams. They were by far ahead of us. Also, Roma was much better. So it was there that Andrea Agnelli came in the management. The new stadium was made. So it was more like you guys stayed behind. We tried to go that step forward. There was enough in Italy, but clearly it's not enough in Europe.
We just went down and we stayed there. We did not improve, right? 2012, tutti senatori, everybody gone. We have no plan. Milan had no plan. Inter had no plan. Roma had no plan. Napoli had no plan. Lazio, they would get us excited. I'm just saying that the quality of Serie A did not help teams like Juventus. Why is it that you get into Champions League, you can't do anything? Why is it? And we're not talking, like you said, you're not talking about Manchester United. You're not talking about the cities. You're not talking about Barcelona. You're talking about the Portos and Ajax. It's because when you play us a poor, and guys, I hate saying this, Serie A's quality has not been to the level that it's supposed to, right? Yeah. It's not because you won 3-0 against Cagliari that, oh my God, what che risposta delle Juventus? What? Are you serious? Right? Go on, because we're going to talk here for another hour and a half.
Yeah, I'll move on to... Oh, yeah. Go.
No, let's close it here, because otherwise we're...
It's really the last thing. It's still about Vini. It's the mentality that has to change, because it's really the last thing. Inter this year, they're not playing phenomenally. They're maybe being the Juve of last year or of the past years. So
they're very clinical.
When was the last time that you had your top 6 spots in Serie A with 11 games remaining still up in the air? There was times that I remember December 15th, okay, Scudetto è finito, because Juventus was already, even at that point, 10 points ahead, that's it. It was finished. Now what I'm trying to get at is that because of the lack of competition from the previous 10 years, and that's on us, that's on Milan, that's on the Red Sette Signorine, because they just let Juventus do whatever they want. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying this is the only reason, and this is, again, my opinion, gentlemen, but when you're on top of the world in Serie A, right, you might think you're on top of the world in Champions League. I'm not here to talk about reffing I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not here to talk about conspiracy theories and everything. If you're going to compete, right, against a subpar league, don't expect that you're going to win. You're going to win no Champions League or go far in the Champions League. That's all I'm saying.
Fortunately, Vinny, we have teams like Atalanta, Sassuolo, or Hellas that are trying to change this, this idea.
Starting. Very good.
Yes, starting. Because Inter this year, they are up there front, but, in a Juve style. Because if we see the match against Atalanta a couple of weeks ago,
Inter is doing exactly what Juventus was doing no matter how ugly or disorganized, they're getting the 3 points. And in the end, guys, in the history books, you're not going to look at, well, questa partita, they had more possession. No, they're going to look at who scored and who had the 3 points.
But in Europe, it's not going to be enough.
Mute me.
No, I'm saying, but literally last thing, Amy always mentions, I'm a big fan of Sarri. And Emiliano says, yeah, Sarri is a good coach if you want to win the good playing style of football trophy by the end of the year, but you don't win the Serie A. All right, I'll move on now.
Yeah, but Sarri won with Chelsea the Europa League. So, I'm just saying that in Europe, you need more. That's it.
Sure. All right, I'll move on. Sorry, Amy, if I'm moving. I'm not going to do the table just now. We'll do the other stuff first, and then we'll do a table just to get Vinny in because we have 20 minutes of Vinny left. But we was talking about debates about teams, and let's do a little game, guys. Start, bench, sell. So Vinny's gonna do it live because we did it beforehand, but Vinny's gonna do it live. So we go.
I don't see these blue and black colors. Sorry, they don't correspond with my eyes.
Anyway, so we go with 3 best fullbacks in Serie A. All 3 have had phenomenal seasons this year and last. Hakimi wasn't there last year, but wherever he was, and in Europe against Inter as well. So this is a little game, and we got if you guys in the audience want to give us a little shout as well, we got to choose someone to start. You got to choose someone to bench and someone to sell. It's a bit like the F, marry, kill game we used to play when we were teens. So the sell doesn't have to be a money thing, but please do tell us your arguments. But here are our answers. So in the start section, we have Luca, Jonathan, and Amy saying Hakimi starting. Me and Sam Pierce saying Gosens to start. Vinny, who would you choose out of a 3 to start? So who do you think is the guy who really deserved to be in that starting 11?
Probably Hakimi.
Hakimi.
Because of his consistent play, right?
Consistent play. Yeah. But I'll tell you this, Phil. Gosens to me, and I want to hear what Sampi says as well. What it is about Gosens that really impresses me is that he's got this skill of he's got better tempi di inserimento. So the how would you say the mentality of going into the box and getting to that ball perfectly when it's crossed in, which is better than a lot of attackers in Serie A. Honestly, I can make a huge list.
He has 9 goals. So
yeah, and that shows it as well. One reason I don't like Hakimi, in comparison to Gosens, not that I don't like him, I don't know why, but Hakimi to me, at least in Serie A, in the big games, and guys, correct me please, I don't think he's had as much as an impact as Gosens and Theo have had in the big games.
But Theo, I don't know. Has he shown up in a big game?
Yeah, against Lazio, especially in Roma, he was incredible. I think the game yesterday he was crap, but I think in the big games he's shown up, at least in my opinion.
But anyways, Hakimi against Theo on the big games, Hakimi had outplayed him, right? So that's why you got to. For me, that's why you got to start him.
I feel like Hakimi struggles if there's not enough space. If he has even 20 meters behind the defense, he's going to destroy you.
I'll just edit it in the meantime.
Even yesterday, Torino, if you have the whole team on the box, he's not going to do anything because his footwork, his foot ability isn't great. So he will never be the difference in those games. But if there's space, he's going to destroy you.
When it comes to Gosens, if you look statistically, he's probably the best this season. I think Gosens, like with any Atalanta player, you need to put a disclaimer next to him and say
he plays for Atalanta.
He plays for Atalanta. You never know in another club what he's going to do. And when you look at Hakimi performed at Dortmund in the UCL, not just anywhere in Bundesliga. He was incredible. Yeah. And he's performing at Inter. Theo, Theo, he didn't play at Real, and then he played in low-level teams. But yeah, Gosens, I think that's just a risk. You put him somewhere else, you don't know how he's going to do.
Know. But wait, isn't it shocking, guys, that Hakimi and Theo were both for Real Madrid and they went away so easily? I think it's incredible. I think it's...
They had Marcelo and Carvajal, not exactly Jonathan and Asamoah, but...
I thought you were gonna. Those are creative comparisons. I like that.
I think they should have kept Theo because they bought Mendy anyways, so they were planning on replacing their left back anyways. So
true.
Vinny, who would you say are our Asamoah and who was the other guy you said, Amy?
Jonathan, but you can put so many players in that position.
Oh my God, Jonathan!
Who are our Jonathan and Asamoah?
Oh my God, those are
Constant.
No, guys, please. First of all, even Constant was the African footballer of the year back in the day. But I'm trying to think of my FIFA 11 game that I popped in the other time. Who was those Jonathan and oh my god, like guys, honestly, it's just bringing back really bad memories. You're talking
PTSD.
The Skilio, as they would call him on the Shilio, as they call him over there. Yeah, that's for sure. And the other one would be who, man?
Ricardo Rodriguez, maybe.
Maybe Conti, maybe.
No, you're gonna put Conti and then Jonathan and what are you gonna? No. Like I'm gonna come up with something, but like the Shilio for. Thank you, Juventus. So would you give us 12 million for him? Thank you, Allegri. 12 or 15 million. Grazie.
Amy, what if I say Alvaro Pereira for you, Amy? What does that remember you?
I cannot express my feelings on that player.
There's no way.
Oh, Amy, by the way, you said Kaladze. Kaladze is the mayor of Tbilisi, yeah, in Georgia. So don't disrespect the man. He's a very important.
If I go there, they're gonna kill me. They're gonna execute me.
If you see a hand dragging Amy away from a screen. Anyway, we'll move on to the bench. This is where it kind of gets interesting. But most of us said Theo Hernandez, and Sampi said Hakimi. But Vinny, what do you think? Who should be on the bench?
I gotta make money, so Goosen is on the bench, guys.
Goosen is on the bench.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to give my explanation now because, gentlemen, Theo Hernandez, we're gonna put him out when we're gonna play.
Wait, Vinny, do you take into consideration Theo Hernandez's girlfriend? Have you seen her?
This is a business, gentlemen. I don't look at all these Instagram stuff or whatever. But what's going to happen is that we're gonna play him against Manchester United. We're gonna make him seem like he's a winger. They're gonna go crazy. This is like a Gareth Bale kind of guy, and they're gonna offer us $80 million, and we make the balance books from over there, right? That's the way.
Ready to sell Theo?
I would honestly for me, like now because you're looking. The way I looked at this is that if I had to sell, I look at this as a business because, unfortunately, gentlemen, maybe 20, 25 years ago, La Storia de Bandiera, it's over. This is a business now. We're going to look at it as a business. Like people crying about when we sold Cutrone. Oh, my God, Cutrone. No, it was a business decision, and that's what it comes to, right? So for me, it would have to be a business decision. I think return on investment. Definitely Theo. We paid him 15-20 and some English team like I don't know, like West Ham would give us probably 80 million for him.
Yeah.
So
Luca
piss him off. Luca's like, that's it, I'm leaving, I can't do it anymore.
Luca didn't get kidnapped. He used to be a very big Cutrone fan. I was as well. I think he has a t-shirt.
No, but once again, I get it.
100% he's getting the t-shirt of Cutrone.
But it's okay, guy. It's okay to feel disappointed, but people have to stop thinking that this is the Maldinis and the Tottis and the Zanetti. Guys, it's over. And I appreciate we do have a signed jersey, but guys, when we bought him for absolutely nothing, because he was, and we sold him for 25 million. Has he done anything since we sold him? So stop crying about it.
No, Vinny, I totally agree with you. The jersey is a joke. Cutrone, incredible decision. Incredible decision.
It hurt me in the end because, at Milan. But in the end, guys, this is a business. Put it through your heads.
25 million for Cutrone.
Totally agree.
Deal of a lifetime.
Absolutely agree. Yeah.
I mean, look what he's done.
Donnarumma, guys. Somebody offers you 90 million, 100 million for Donnarumma. What are you going to do? Oh, my Gigi. No, you sell him. Yeah,
for 100 million, he's gone.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm.
He fixes all our financial issues, and the keeper. You're not going to find one as good as him, but you're finding another keeper. I love Gigio. Right, I hope he stays for us. Yeah, he stays
even
with
me
us forever. Exactly. We hope he stays, but if you do get offered 100 million, how are you going to say no to that?
So that's why on Thursday, Theo, we're going to put him as an attacker just to fool them all. And the West Hams of the world and the Aston Villas will offer us 75 to 80 million for Theo Hernandez. That's my business thinking there, gentlemen.
Wow. Well, what about Vinny from not a business standpoint, though, on just quality of the three players? Would you still think the same thing?
No. I will bench Hernandez.
Okay. And Gozen's just so. Well, guys, we had it was a pretty interesting chat about that. We'll get to our last thing, and then we'll let Vinny go because this is not a hostage.
It's okay. I'm good. No. It's a fine. It's a fine. Like I'll go get an extra beer after. Don't worry about
it. You're fine, man. All right, we'll get to our team of the week, which we basically we just nominate a couple players who we just think had very good performances, and especially from the games, the biggest games. But the team of the week, guys. In goal, who are you gonna nominate, guys? I think even though we lost, I think Donnarumma could be there because he had some crucial saves. But I think it's got to be Sepe for Parma, not conceding in the end. Roma, it's got to be
me.
Sepe.
Ricky,
yeah. And then
I agree with Sepe. Yeah,
guys, I think the first guy I'm gonna say, I think Di Marco.
Bremer, maybe.
Bremer has. Bremer against Lukaku.
Bremer ate Lukaku alive.
Guys, I have a question. Would the derby have been different if Tomori started instead of Romagnoli and holding Lukaku? Because he's, in terms of physicality and stuff, he's very similar to Bremer, and Bremer held Lukaku really well during the game.
That's a very interesting point.
I feel like it was a. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening. I don't think. Go ahead. I want to hear the Interista's point first.
No, I wouldn't say, because it was a very different game. Because Bremer had the advantage that he had no space behind him. Like, at the end of the day, if you can really press up Lukaku and push him away from the goal, you get a very big advantage, especially as your line is so far back. Milan was just so far forward. Like, I think Romagnoli was even at half pitch sometimes, and the whole rest of the team was on the other side. So.
And let's not forget, guys, that whole spat between Ibra and Lukaku and the Coppa Italia. Romagnoli had Lukaku's number that game. He was physical. He had a little push from over there. So I don't think it would have made a big difference. I just thought maybe Lukaku just adapted himself. And let's not forget, guys, Lukaku's a beast. And even though he gets maybe defended well on one game, ain't gonna make that happen for several games, right? So I don't think it would have made a huge difference having Tomori play instead of Romagnoli.
I agree.
All right. Do you guys want to nominate anyone else for the back line?
I think a man who's had a season which hasn't been ideal, but we're quick to forget how good he is, Koulibaly. I think Koulibaly he wasn't facing Ibra. And we saw at the first game when he was facing Ibra, it was a different story.
Yeah,
but an incredible game.
Koulibaly, you guys must have heard from the TV. He didn't shut up 1 second for the whole game, and he was always it was always him praising the other his teammates for keeping the line and for keeping the Milan players offside. Incredible game, really. And
he's so good.
Last but not least, I want to nominate Sumaro.
Maybe someone who scored.
I want to say Sumaro from Bologna. He had a very good game, but if we want to nominate someone who scored, we could get Di Marco in. We could get Di Marco's been always there, guys. It's shocking.
Yeah, true. Let's leave him out.
Let's put Sumaro.
I gotta be honest. I didn't carefully watch Sumaro's performance.
Sumaro played well.
I'm not gonna lie about that.
Well, problem is I don't know. There it is. Adama.
There he is.
He plays for Bologna.
It says Lille.
Yeah, I know, but he plays for Bologna.
Just put him in and
All right. Well, we'll be accused of racism, but it's fine. All right, midfielders, guys. Who are we putting in?
This week.
Pasalic, 100%.
Yeah,
Pasalic had a very good game. Pasalic with that brace, I think, was really good. Svanberg for Bologna with a goal and a a goal and an assist. And then
do we want to put Politano as a midfielder?
No, I want to put, before we say that, I want to put someone else from Parma. I think Hernani should be there. Yeah,
he scored a penalty.
He scored a penalty, but also from Parma, I think, what's his name? The guy from Uruguay, Brugman, had a really good game as well. But
I want to say Lazovic. He had a goal and an assist.
Oh, Lazovic, yeah.
Somebody from Parma should definitely make it onto this team because I don't think any of you betting gentlemen would have predicted Parma being Roma.
I'd put Hernani for the goal.
Yeah.
Well, it's a shame.
I think last week on predictions, I predicted a draw. I would have never said a 2-0 win, but yeah.
All right, and then up top.
Well, two of them are easy, 2 hat tricks. So
Vlahovic. And then who was? Oh, I bet.
Can you put an asterisk? Can you put an asterisk next to his name? If he would have had a red card, he wouldn't have scored. Maybe you could put a little asterisk on next.
That's another discussion.
That was
what discussion? What discussion? I'm sorry, gentlemen.
No discussion because I know that there's differing opinions in this.
How is it a different opinion? Anybody in the Serie A would have done that. It's a red card.
It's not my opinion.
Ricardo, I'm sorry. You cannot tell me. Forget. I'm not here to talk about referee buyings. You cannot tell me that was the right call. You cannot tell me that was. Okay, just
I'm just saying this. If the referee would have sent him off,
no,
if the referee gave him a red card, I couldn't have said I wouldn't have argued, obviously, but I don't like to hear the.
No,
you also
I'm
said
not
it. No. You also said it, Vinny. I heard some people saying conspiracy because he's Ronaldo. They didn't send him off.
No. That's okay. That's a different story.
I'm not here to say, but look at they're trying to help you. No, I'm not. I'm just talking about the inconsistency of the VAR, just like the Milan game. Did I believe that was a penalty? No. But if you look at everything else that they've called as a penalty, well, okay, you got to call that penalty too. But if Lukaku, if Ibrahimovic would have done that, that would have been not even a discussion. Straight red with at least 2-game suspension, and you know it. That's what I don't like. Just be consistent. That's all.
Yeah. I feel like that tackle could have even gotten. You could argue for a red if he didn't hit him, but he even hit him in the face. So I think there's no real.
And with VAR and everything, there's no excuse to go back and watch it and retake your decision, right?
When you see
a referee
him
mistake, it's nothing more than that. It's a mistake by the referee, and no need to
I
make discussions.
I still think if it had happened maybe between two moving players, it would have been straight red. Maybe with the goalkeeper, the referee had a different interpretation. But I mean, I repeat, if he would have sent him off, I obviously can't complain. But
fact of the matter, he didn't get sent off, scored a hat trick, so he's in the team of the
at the end.
Yes,
and he missed the fourth goal. Did you see it the last minute? He was one-on-one with Cragno and just passed it to him. Yeah, he could have scored 4. It was a pretty clear.
Nobody was watching, Rika. Nobody was watching.
It turned out it was 3-0.
What do you think the celebration would have been if he scored 4? Would he have just taken his willy out and just go, "Hey"?
We're not here to talk about your fantasy.
That's exaggerated, obviously. Also, the one of the year, I think it's exaggerated, but I mean, we kind of can understand him with all the critics, and then now he's saying that the one with he surpassed Pelé and stuff. But
and he's a marketing machine. He knows what he's doing. He knows that he's going to get people talking about him. He's smart.
Yeah.
Right, should we have a last attacker, guys? Should we say Simi?
Simi. I mean, scoring 2 goals against Lazio, even if they lost, but or maybe we can put Politano.
No, because
for the importance
of a game, like Teo.
I don't know. I think I'd give a special mention to all 4 of Napoli's attackers. Well, the three kind of advanced midfielders, because I think they were all really good. Insigne had a good game. Politano was good. Zielinski was good. Mertens was probably the worst out of the 4.
Tomorrow, apparently.
In fact, I think Osimhen was much better when he came on. Mertens.
All right, so that's our team of week for this match day 27, guys. We got Sepe in goal, Sumaro, Bremer, and Koulibaly have a back, Lazovic, Svanberg, Pazaric, Hernani in the middle, and up top, Simi, Vlahovic, and Ronaldo. Cristiano, all right, well, Vinny, will you be staying with us, or should we say our goodbye?
They're already sending me stuff for the podcast, everything. But guys, I wanted to say now, this is a lesson for you, fine gentlemen. When you have a guest on that we like to chit chat and talk, see, this is what happens. You go overboard, you're talking this and that. But guys, it was a pleasure, and it's great to be able to talk. Guys of your generation, even older ones, that we can have a discussion. Right? We're not here to talk about screw you and this guy here. Have a discussion about Serie A and continue doing what you're doing. It's all about spreading the love of calcio, whether it be in Italian and English. You guys do your own thing, right? And from experience, I can tell you, once you start getting trolls, you've made it. So Steve and I were beginning a little trolls there from already, but guys, thank you so very much, and we gotta go work on this artwork, and we're trying to figure out for the podcast. But continue doing the great work, gentlemen, and we'll talk. We'll talk very soon. Maybe we'll have you guys on, or vice versa, maybe at the end of the season. And Interista, we'll see what
Congratulations for the Scudetto, Interista.
Why? Well, we have to tell him that now.
Wait.
Calm down. Yes, because he knows that they're capable. They're capable. Because they haven't hit that little lull yet. That's what he knows. He knows. He's like, I'm not saying shit right now. So I gotta respect. that.
I'm waiting.
You're waiting, but I like that. But in the end, gentlemen, thank you so very much. We're gonna talk soon, and this was fun. And we'll definitely do this again. Have yourselves a play, and thank you everybody that's reaching out tonight, 9 p.m. Well, it's a bit late for you guys.
We'll send the link again for your channel in the chat, Luca, if you could get on.
Milan Weekly Podcast, guys. We'll see each other. We'll have a special on Thursday, post game reaction. Hopefully, we show Manchester United what we're all about. Ovunque sempre, gentlemen. Forza Milan. Ciao.
Bye. Ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
All right, what a guest, guys! I absolutely loved him.
What an episode!
What an episode! Well, we're not done yet. Hey, we still got to analyze all the guys. Nah, just kidding. We still got 2 more things, guys. Oh, that's me. I don't want to see me.
What do you mean 2 more things?
We got the table. We want to just look at very, very quickly, and then we got predictions.
Luca's shirt collection.
Oh,
we already saw that with Kroto.
But it wasn't official. That was just a spontaneous.
All right. Anyway, we kind of looked at the table because we had it in a lot of the slides. But Amy, do you want to give us we're at 1:30. Do you want to give us a super rapid league table thing? Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so no difference in the top 3. We have Inter at 65, Milan at 56, you at 55 with 1 game in hand. I thought this was the last time I would have had to say that, but the game was postponed once more, so we're going to have to say this every week. Then Atalanta gaining 1 position with 52 points. Napoli with 50 gaining 1 position. And Roma, the biggest loser, dropping 2. They have 50 points now. Lazio, a game in hand against Torino this time with 46 points. Sassuolo, same game in hand with Torino. Same with Hellas at 39. They gained 1 position over Hellas, who are at 36. Udinese, first time in a while, changing the left-hand side of the table because they overtook Sampdoria by 1 point, so they have 33 points. Sampdoria have 32. Bologna has 31 points. They stay in 12th position. Then Fiorentina gaining 1 position, 29 points. Genoa losing 1, 28 points. Then it's Spezia 26, Benevento 26. And the bottom 4 we all know every week stays the same. Cagliari at 22, Torino at 20, 2 games in hand. Parma at 19, and Crotone at 15.
All right, great stuff. And we'll get to the last part of. Wait, we have a personal chat, and apparently there's calls here for Vinny to be the new host and for me to go. Anyway, we'll get to the predictions. As always, each week our hosts and viewers will be invited to predict this coming week's Serie A results. Predictions will be recording, and points will be assigned based on the accuracy. Unfortunately, Vinny had to go, so we didn't get his predictions, but it was probably the opposite of what he says, as he said himself. So if you get an exact result, you get 3 points. If you get a winner, or if a draw right, you get 1 point. And the winning team, if you get nothing, you get nothing. All right, Luca, talk us quickly through the predictions from last week and our points. Who's first in the predictions?
Well, in the predictions in general, definitely not you. I think I was a bit too. No, I'm not. No. I was a bit too cocky last week, and I had a terrible week to back it up, so that's what happens.
You deserve it, Luca.
Too much. Well, I'm still first, so I'd like you guys. I'd also like you to calm down a bit because I'm still first. So a bit of respect when you're talking to the Capolista, please. Thank you. And Arda is dancing because he got 11 points. Ricky continuing his good run of form. He's always there with the good amount of points.
Yeah.
Got Johnny with 7, Amy with 6, and then as I said, me with a terrible week at 5. Let's see if we have any special mentions for predictions.
I started with 4 points in the first 2 games and ended up with 6. I don't know how that happened. I was so excited
by the way,
at the beginning of the week.
I said it in the group chat. Amy would be a great dictator. When he makes his speeches and he has his finger up, I think it's a very very iconic.
Right, we'll move on to the predictions for next game week. Little surprise. I am literally using the same exact positions for predictions from last week because I personally think they are not too bad, apart from the Fiorentina one, which is me jinxing it. I don't think we're too far-fetched. So let's get into it. Parma Genoa, I predicted a win, and so did Sampi for 2-1 for Parma. Amy predicted a Genoa win, and the other 2 predicted a draw. That's interesting. And then Crotone Bologna. This is by way a relegation battle. Crotone Bologna, Luca is the only one who's predicting a Crotone win. I predict a tie, and everyone else is predicting a Bologna win. Spezia Cagliari, big game for huge game for the relegation.
Huge, important.
That's what's happening here. What was that? Can someone clip that? Can someone please clip that?
Anyway,
don't worry, the segment is going on YouTube. That's my first job tomorrow.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to say, guys, go check out our YouTube channel. Amy, could you put the link down in the chat, please, or someone?
Absolutely.
Our YouTube channel with all our episodes and
we'll get some clips up there with maybe some of Vinny's discussions for next week.
Yeah, Vinny, was amazing, by the way. Spezia Cagliari was saying, Luca predicting a Cagliari win. I predict a Spezia win. Sampi a draw, and Johnny predicts a Cagliari win, and so does Amy as well. Inter Sassuolo, this was a game that back in the day it was a bit of a black horse for Inter, as Amy would know, but we all predict an easy Inter win. And then Verona-Atalanta could be one of the most interesting ones of the weekend. So Luca predicts an Atalanta win, and so do I, and so does Sampi, and so does Amy. But Jonathan predicts a 1-0 draw, which who knows could happen. Juve Benevento, we all predicted the Juve win.
Quickly about Atalanta. For me, it all depends on how they play tomorrow. Yeah. That's gonna dictate how they do. If they do really well, they're gonna lose. If they do really poorly, they're gonna win. In my opinion,
I don't know. I think it might be one of those situations where they go all out, Real lose against Hellas.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying.
Oh, okay. I agree.
It's gonna be the opposite of what they do tomorrow. In my opinion.
Yeah. If they beat Real, then I think definitely they're gonna go to Verona and they're gonna struggle.
All right, man. Torino. Everyone predicts a draw, apart from Amy and Luca predict a win for Sampdoria. Udinese against Lazio. Luca predicts a win.
If I can mention the Toro game, I think this Toro game will show us if Torino is actually risking relegation. Because this is a game that if you're not risking relegation, then you're winning it, because Sam's already in a good spot. You say, okay, it's kind of a head-to-head, take points from them and get back on track. If they lose this one, it's getting dangerous.
Samp, Torino will be playing on Wednesday as well against Sassuolo, so that'll be interesting to see what they do.
I think
they missed that because of the.
I think Vinny made a very good point when he said that they're really going to be risking, and then what Amy and Ricky said about the whole COVID thing. Torino's in a bad spot.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. All right, and then the last 2-3 games. Udinese Lazio. We all predict. Just Luca and Amy predict a win for Lazio. We all predicted a 1-0, Johnny, Sampi, and I. And then Fiorentina, Milan, very big game. Next Monday, we're going to have David Amoyal. I'm saying it now on as a guest for our podcast. So we're going to be talking about that game. We're going to be talking about the national team as well, because we'll be going into the national team break. And then during the break, we're going to still have episodes, and we're going to be mainly based on the national team. So do connect and come watch it with us. So come talk to us. So Luca predicts a draw. And then everyone but me predicts a win for Milan. I predict a win for Fiorentina. And then Roma-Napoli, the biggest game of the weekend. If it was up to Milan fans, we'd hope a meteorite falls for the points, I mean. But then the first three guys predict a win for Roma, 3-1, 4-2, and 2-1. But then Johnny and Amy both predict a Napoli win. Amy, was it based on the game against Milan, or you just say it from like an objective perspective?
I don't trust Roma in big games, so that's why I said that.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep predicting the Roma win in big games, just because I think eventually they're going to win one.
I'm going to remind
exactly.
I want to remind everyone of Luca's little prediction. He said that Inter wouldn't have lost after the Milan derby, or even beforehand. He said that they wouldn't lose one more game.
I said it before the derby. I said if they were going to win the derby, they weren't losing another game. And I think honestly, the game against Torino kind of reinforced that, like proved that to me, just because it showed me once again when Inter puts on Lautaro, Alexis, Lukaku, Eriksen, they're scoring 100%. I bet on it. I believe in it, and I think it's going to happen.
All right.
Yeah, and also we've noticed a change of mentality, because Amy, you can maybe confirm this, that a couple of years ago, maybe also last year, on a 1-1, you would have probably drew the game. You wouldn't have turned it around.
Not gonna lie, when Torino tied the game, I straight up thought we're not getting 3 points from this.
Really?
I thought, there's such a big chance they're gonna get either a lucky winner from a corner, or just nothing else is gonna happen, which shows how much we've changed.
All right, boys, I want to finish off at 1:40, so I'm going to try to raid Italian Football TV, by the way, so we can get a couple of viewers. They'll see us and they'll thank us. So, it's been an incredible episode. Vinny from the Milan Weekly Podcast was here, and it was a really good episode. If you want to go watch it again, tomorrow will be uploaded on Spreaker and on our YouTube channel, so do not miss it. It was an incredible episode. I'm going to sign off by thanking my dear friends who have been here, and Jonathan, who's been in the chat, so he wasn't here with us right now. But starting from my left there, Luca Hoffmeister, sign off.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for listening. I don't know, had a bit of a brain fart there. Didn't know what I wanted to say, but
someone clip that. And we got Amy down here, our Inter Milan fan. Amy, say bye to everyone.
We had our first guest, so really enjoyed that. And yeah, see you next week.
Thank you, Eddie, for someone that's maybe a meme. And Ricky, last but no, I'm gonna use not last because I'm last, but Ricky, say bye to everyone. Last, but not last, the best, if I could say so. Ricky, you're my favorite.
Grazie. Thank you very much. No, niente.
Bye bye. But just sign off.
I'm just gonna say ciao tutti and yeah.
All right, bye bye. Man, I've been your host for today, as always, Alessandro Arda Oriani, and I can't raid Italian Football TV, so I'm gonna raid our good friend Sal. So I'm just gonna grab. Sorry guys, I'm just doing this now. Guys, stop pointing at each other. It's weird. Okay, I'm gonna raid Sal. So I've been your host for today, Alessandro Doriani. See you next Monday with
wait, guys, and tell us if you want Catenaccio Pro Clubs. Catenaccio Pro Clubs.
Catenaccio Pro Clubs. I want that. We could do it in Italian as well, or in English. It doesn't matter because we're on Radio Rossonera. Anyway, bye guys. See you. It has been an absolute pleasure. See you later.